Yo, what's up? Finally, after way too much waiting, the Scorching race update dropped. Yes, you might have noticed because these dudes have some of the new customization from the update already on them. Yep, I just came home. First thing I did was checking out the new customization because that's part of the most fun. So yeah, let's take a detailed look into this update because yeah, there's a lot of stuff to examine because some things already confuse players. First of all, when you start the game after updating like 50 gigabyte, don't worry, it's not all new stuff. The game just downloads lots of data and maybe only 5 gigabyte is new, but it downloads a large part and then it deletes a large part. So it's much more error proof if you, instead of precisely dissecting the new parts, if you just install and then uninstall large parts. So this is normal, don't be afraid. Now another thing that confused many players is when logging in, you get a notification about receiving like gold. Now this gold, this is an error. This is some gopnik got drunk again at Gaijin and just coded something wrong and now people get a notification. You need to ignore it because it's simply not true. It's just an error. So yeah, sadly no free gold for everyone. Now looking at the changelog, first thing you see is it's very lackluster. Like these new damage models are some of the most exciting parts of this update. Yeah, because mostly it's quite empty, and this is exactly what most players also said. It's very empty because the only nations who really got something were the Americans or British and the Japanese. Exactly nothing for the Soviets or Germans. Wow, the two biggest nations for World War II received nothing. Alright, strange, but okay. Let's take a deep look. Now also the Zuma boxes are back. So all the Karens are gonna get their credit cards stolen secretly overnight for the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna possibly make a video where I will throw away 1 million on these boxes to show you what you can expect on average. Now let's me quickly buy one box here to see what is new, because yes, you have this new rotation model to really get all the children addicted. Because they can see, oh, I could have gotten this or this, instead I got this. So people are gonna re-roll thinking, oh, 33% chance this, 33% chance this. So 67% chance for good stuff and 1/3 for bad stuff. These are good odds. Obviously, this is a optical trick to make things look much better than they actually are. Yeah, now, oh, vehicle upgrade order, okay. Actually really good and worth more than 5,000, so theoretically I made significant plus now. Problem is though, if you always buy the battle pass for like 2 years straight, you will not need all of those vehicle upgrade orders anymore. But yeah, also keep in mind this box, depending on what you already have, has different changes. They allegedly improved a few chances, but here's the problem. Most of it is still slop. Yeah, only 3% chance for a weapon. Ah, not good. Alright, so let's read the changelog and go point by point. Now, the Americans received their Thompson for BR5. Alright. Now, here it already is. And I'm gonna warn you already. The biggest problem is Gaijin promised or implied BR changes, BR adjustments, and there were lots of posts about, even by Gaijin itself, I remember 1 and 2 months ago, about changing BRs of tanks and stuff like that. Now, what came out of that? Well, nothing. Basically fucking nothing, because most tanks are still fucking over-tiered. There are still ridiculous situations, like well, this tank being in BR4. Yep. This tank being in BR4. What the fuck? It's both of these tanks being in the same BR is already a joke. But this tank which is straight up just a joke. It would be an okay BR3 tank, but even there just a gimmick because of the big cannon, but glass armor. Nope, nothing changed for the tank destroyers, and not even for America, for most nations. So yeah. Now, yep, we have this Tommy gun now. Problem is we have another Tommy gun already. This one has much better recoil. It has much better recoil, much better fire rate. It's a straight upgrade compared to the previous Thompson, so is it playable? It has the same slow muzzle velocity. This is and was always the weakest part of Thompson's. Also, the sights aren't too good. The height has still much better sights. Has much better muzzle velocity. And overall, by the way, better better recoil. It has much higher vertical, but the vertical barely is an issue. The horizontal is usually the problem, and this one has like severe horizontal. So yeah, well, so nothing too special in that case. Then the Japanese got their shotgun, which is complete slop. Then the Japanese got the premium as well as the Soviets. All right. Well, yeah, shotguns are simply shotguns are nah. I posted and many people posted recommendations how to make shotguns actually playable. Some of the best ideas, and what I would also suggest is give them some. It's very easy to code. Give them some affliction type of effect. So make it that if you get shot by a shotgun, you get this head shake effect of an explosion. So when you shoot someone, even if you just injure him, he can't just instantly shoot back because he's got his headache and shaking and whatever. And then shotguns would actually have some form of effect, which is also partially realistic because shotguns are used in real life for their stopping power. If you get hit by a shotgun, you instantly stop doing whatever you do, no matter how much blood pressure you still have, no matter how much adrenaline you have. You cannot simply do anything anymore instantly. Whereas if you get shot by a pistol, even if you get shot 3-4 times, you still usually can act for a few seconds. So, yep, it still takes a while until you bleed out, and it still takes a while until blood pressure drops hard enough so you feel weakness. That's why shotguns are used. But in Enlisted, they're straight up useless because they don't have any form of additional effect. They don't have simply any advantage over bolt actions. Bolt actions are basically always better. Oh, but shotgun is better if someone is right in front of you. Oh, cool. If that's the advantage, then yeah, no, thank you. So, yeah, this is sadly Slop. Then I'm gonna quickly go all of this. Some little advantages. Now the Scotty rifle, the most talked about weapon enlisted basically for the last weeks. Because Gaijin went full retard with the Scotty rifle. Where the hell is it? Here it is. This thing, Gaijin insists against hundreds of posts by now to keep it in BR5. Also to have it for some reason in a ridiculously gray color. Like, why is everything in this weapon the same color? Except for the metal parts. Well, this weapon allegedly has 15 rounds, which it, realistically speaking, didn't have. It had 20 to 30 rounds. It didn't have fucking 15 rounds. It's completely ahistorical. And the stats are just the clusterfuck. So yeah, Gaijin dropped the ball with that one too. Yep, we're still searching for the good parts of the update, by the way. Don't worry, there are some. But this Scotty rifle drama odyssey, yeah. It doesn't get any better with that weapon, sadly. Yep, yeah, well, then new Chinese voice lines, okay, good. The Fedorov rifle, I think from an event or for Battle Pass, got a bit improved. Well, it has only full auto now, not burst fire. Now, some people complain if burst fire gets removed. Motherfucker, here's the truth about burst fire. Burst fire is straight up bad. If your weapon has a high fire rate, like this Fedorov rifle, let's find it. Where's the Fedorov rifle? Somewhere here. I don't even know where it is. I guess I put it on some random soldier in I don't know where. Might be... I can't... Yeah, I don't know where it is. I put it somewhere. Well, this Fedorov rifle... if you have any weapon with a very high fire rate, you don't need any burst fire. You just click and then you instantly stop clicking. And tada, there you have your burst. Now why is it better than burst fire? Because if you have too many enemies in front of you, you just don't unclick, you just keep clicking and the enemies all die. Whereas with burst fire, there's going to be always an interruption, meaning in the meantime you get shot back and you die. So yeah, like weapons with high fire rates don't need burst fire. They absolutely don't. It's a straight upgrade. This is a thing, oh no, they took away my burst fire mode. Motherfucker, your burst fire mode is in your finger included, so yeah. Yeah, like there are lots of unnecessary rage nerd posts about it. Well, new German and British headgear. What is this new German and British headgear people talk about? First of all, where are my Britbonks at? I don't think I have Britbonks here. I have Britbonks on BR3 though. Yeah, because the snipers... this is an American... I de-Britbonked my squads. This is one of the few Britbonk squads I still have. Let's take a look. This dude looks very British. Okay, let's see. What can he get? Oh, sexy. I like. Yep, this is actually useful. Yep, it looks funny and cool. So, can we give him a funny, ugly British face for extra historical accuracy? Well, I'm gonna do it later. But yeah, but yep, I see the situation. It's funny. Yeah, you can give him funny stuff. I already gave these dudes funny jackets. Yeah, since they're British, they are forced to very ugly ass pants. Yep. So sadly, no fitting pants. But yeah, this helmet, nice. Let's go. Do we have a sexy squad now? Yes, we have. Okay, good. This works. Now for the Germans. Here's the thing. People got very excited when they saw these face masks. And if you go on this specific event squad, you can also, yep, you know the face masks are included in the face. They're separate. Here's the face mask. And you can get face masks with helmets now and without, like the previous version. I gave them the helmets because Gaijin literally doesn't tell you whether the heads have a headshot damage reduction effect or not. And I thought, yeah, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna use this. Also, it looks quite cool with the dark helmet, whatever. I wish it was darker. It looks a bit too, well, gray. It looks just like it was sitting in a corner for 1 year and collected too much dust, but okay. Well, and you can also give him a uniform and for the first time fitting pants. Alright, so far so good. Now here's the problem. This is only available for this one squad. Nowhere else, not even in other special fancy squads, can you get these face masks. What the fuck, Gaijin? What the fuck? Why can't people have nice things? Why can't normal squads like this squad get any interesting stuff? And the alleged new things, I guess this is what Gaijin talked about. You can, well, you always had this helmet. Now, you also have, allegedly, a fitting jacket. I guess this is it. Yep, but here's the problem. I prepared 5 minutes for this video. Yep, very productive. And there's no fitting pants. I didn't find any fitting pants. Of these 5 minutes, I spent 2 minutes or 40% searching for pants. There were no pants. Yep, no, Gaijin, thank you. Nope, this don't work, Gaijin. Yeah, so this is a flop. Like Germany, if Germany had face masks everywhere, it would be cool. Or only for specific units, historical units. Yeah, you could give it to late war units, because multiple German units of different branches use these face masks in the end. Yeah, this would be smart, but nope, neither is that happening. Instead, you just have it on one squad, so yeah, that's quite the waste. And it took quite a lot of work, quite a lot of time to do it, because there are many of these masks. And since we know how lazy and slow Gaijin is, this is literally like 1 week of of Gaijin work hours. Alright, well, let's go on. What else do we have? We have a few weapon adjustments, nothing too important. Oh, new random boots for the Germans. I even forgot that. Where them boots at? Well, not for all squads available, sadly. Also, I won't check out all the theaters, but yep, I don't see any boots here. No fancy new boots. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I saw a post somewhere about someone having cool boots for his German soldiers, though I could be only for a few squads, though. Then you also have other squads like the Austin squad for Americans, which is quite cool. PPK squad, blah blah, that also get a bit customization. Now here's the problem. If the customization only affects some obscure random event squads, woohoo. Where's the... It's like, it's so irrelevant, it's so inconsequential. Especially since there's not really much for the normal tech tree stuff, which is just bad, but okay. Well, then... After similar things, regarding the vehicles, you have now the very expensive packages that everyone talked about and everyone got angry about. This Tiger that you can see here, and the complementary IS-1 for BR4. Yep, you have them added, but now you also have for the tech tree added the Shino 2 for Japan and the Churchill for Japan, also the Key 83. Now let's check them out. So Shino and something can blah blah. Where is it? Here's the Key 38. Let's take a look. It's a BR4 attacker plane. Oh, Gaijin for the first time in like 1 year listened to the players and gave Japanese an attacker plane. Okay. It took fucking long enough. Now, is it good enough? It has very good speed. Keep in mind, these are unupgraded stats, so they're gonna improve across the board. This is basically jet level of climb rate. I guess 2 very strong engines here. And an insanely good turn rate for such a fast plane. Okay. 2 medium bombs and, well... Okay, this plane is actually good. It's especially for BR4. The cannonry makes it like the flying characteristics and the cannons make it fucking good. The bombs are okay. I mean, for BR4 they're okay. They're okay to blow up stuff. But most importantly, these cannons. Now, if these, yeah, like these cannons can shred very well. Especially the 30mm are going to be insane against ground targets if they're HE stuff, if they're HE shells. And once you run out of these, you still have more than enough 20mm. So yep, you can shell and shred for a long time. And any plane that gets hit is, yeah, like this is a good plane. This is for the first time since a long time the Japanese finally filled a hole. Well, we got the previous update, I think Key 100 was it? Yep, that plane was a great addition. It doesn't start on a carrier and it has some insane stats. So yeah, that was a great addition. And now Japanese also has this. So yeah, okay, important, good addition. I didn't expect this plane to be that good. Or that appropriate. Yeah, keep that in mind, appropriate. Because most of the things Gaijin does with Japan are completely inappropriate. And not like the things Gaijin does with Japan, also with, I won't say with whom. Okay, then, Japanese Shino 2 tank for BR4. Okay, I see a thick, long cannon. Good. Always a good start. And it's just a 75. Alright. And it has no armor. Alright. Okay, into the trash it goes. This sucks. Like this is a fucking BR3 tank. Gaijin, what the fuck? Oh god, this armor is BR2 level. Like Germany has that type of armor on BR2. And you better don't remember the Panzer III J, because then Germany has this armor on BR1. Yes. And this type of cannon, I understand it has very good penetration due to the length, but it still makes this tank BR3 at best. Like, this thing is worse than the American BR3 tanks. Both of them, both of the playable ones. Worse than the howitzer tank, because I'd still rather have the howitzer tank than this. And worse than the Sherman, because the Sherman is just overall a more well-rounded tank. Yeah, like this thing needs to be BR3 ASAP. There's no discussion about that. It's straight up a BR3 tank and not a BR4 tank. Gaijin. Here's once again, yeah, Gaijin strikes again. Gaijin logic strikes again. Alright. Then, we get the BR changes. Now this is what I was excited for the most. I couldn't wait to read this on my way back home. And it started out well. Both KV2s are BR3 now. Very reasonable. Why? Well, if you're a fanboy, you might find it not reasonable. But if you're a normal person, you will see, alright. KV2 is... it has the same armor as the KV1 in BR3. It just has the big cannon. Is this cannon better than the cannon of the BR3, KV1? Nope. Why? First of all, this thing is much harder to kill because it's smaller. It's a much harder target. And you can't just... Well, if you want to hit the weak spots, which are these turret cheeks, they're quite hard to hit. And if you hit this metal structure here, tada, you won't penetrate. So, and if you hit anything here in the center, you also won't penetrate because it's the very thick metal box design where you... like a very ingenious, one of my favorite tank designs ever, by the way. Very expensive to build, hard to weld, but very, very reliable and robust, yeah? Very good, strong, elegant tank. This works perfectly for a tank of this size. If you increase the size, though, to an insanely big fridge on top of an already big hull, now everything can easily shell you. If you shell from here, easy penetration. If you shell from the side, easy penetration. If you even shell these parts, which are easier to hit than the turret cheeks of the KV1, easy penetration. I've honestly penetrated this tank so often in my life, I don't... Like, I remember many, literally, I even have screenshots of KV2s having holes in them with fire burning inside, yellowish from the... Yeah, like, it's just ridiculous. This thing is just very easy to kill. And... on top of it, the cannon is ridiculously slow. It's insanely slow. I think it's like, if you have all the perfect upgrades, it's like 25 seconds or so reload. Maybe 20 if you're lucky. Very fucking slow. And only HE shells and only 36 shells. Now, well, with the... It shoots once per season, so 33 shells will be enough because you're going to get killed anyway quickly. But still, the cannon isn't as strong as fanboys think, because it's just slow. Like you calculate cannon efficacy with how many kills will you get on average per spawn or per minute. This thing will get fewer kills than the KV1. Because you either hit perfectly or you don't. And keep in mind, these shells are nerfed, and HE shells in general are nerfed and bugged in Enlisted. So woohoo, most of the time you won't get hit, you won't get done much with it. And unless you know how to precisely shoot to overpressure enemy tanks, you won't even properly deal with enemy tanks because you can't penetrate them. Whereas they can. Yeah, even BR3 German tanks can. So yeah, it's very reasonable to have this in BR3. In BR4 this was a ridiculous joke. Everything I just said was relative to BR3 tanks. I didn't even compare it to BR4 tanks. So here's how you notice how it's just a straight up a BR3 tank. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to use. And you're gonna get some cool big explosions and maybe like 15 kills. And then all of the fanboys are gonna whine, oh no, someone got 15 kills with a shot. Yes, motherfucker, but the other tank in the meantime would have shot 3 times and gotten 20 kills. But math and logic is obviously something that you can't expect from average Enlisted players nowadays. But yeah, this is a good downgrade. Also the highly expensive premium KV2, which has the advantage of a machine gun, unlike the other one. Though this machine gun isn't worth 5,000 gold, so yeah, Gaijin needs some other idea to make this viable. It's also BR3 now, because this was a ridiculously over-tiered joke, it was completely unplayable. So yeah, this is fine. Now, the Germans also got their KV2 equivalent, if you want, so the Flagbus is BR3 finally. Yep, this thing that looks like a rhinoceros, it's finally BR3. If you look at the armor, it's literally no armor. Like every car on the street nowadays has this much armor, basically. And all it has is the 88 And you might wonder, is it good? Well, it's not good against planes because you won't hit anything with it. And the explosion effect is not as in real life, where it was huge, so you don't even need to hit closely. You just hit in 50 meter to 100 meter vicinity, and the low pressure combined with the high explosive power and the fragments will hit an enemy plane, and the plane will drop. In Enlisted it doesn't work like that. In Enlisted you need fucking perfect hits, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ahistorical, absolutely not how it technically even works. So all you do with this thing is you shell ground targets. Can you do that? Yes, because it has a very high reload speed. You have 6 goons on your tank, and they're constantly slaving away reloading this thing, and you actually have a good chance, if you position yourself very well, to actually drop all those 40 shells. So this is the definition of a glass cannon. It dies against everything. Like, the crew can be easily pistoled away. Yeah, you need to just hide in this bush and then you pistol the crew away. Or you Molotov the thing and tada, and or you strafe the plane with a you strafe this thing with a BR-1 plane. You drop a 50 kilogram bomb and it explodes. Yeah, anything kills it, but you can kill a lot of things. So you literally have the tankiness of a BR-1 tank and the cannon of a BR-4 tank. Yeah, this is BR-3. This is the definition of BR-3. It's absolutely not... Well, the cannon is a bit better than BR-4 because it has fast reload. It's low BR-5 cannon level and BR-1 armor. And it's a fun gimmick tank, but yeah, now it's at least worth buying. I've been saying that for years, since it was added last year. I've been saying just fucking downrank into BR3 and people are gonna buy it. Right now it's completely ridiculous. Okay, then we got the Sherman Firefly downrank to BR4. Yes, I also been telling that since the merge basically. Firefly, very iconic tank. Completely unplayable on BR5, but on BR4 it's perfectly playable. Also now you can have your historically famous duel against Tigers. Actually more often. Then, this is one of the most full retard moments of this update. The Sturmpanzer, I think it's called Sturmpanzer 2, was up-tiered to BR3. What is it? Well, it's something I've tested once in my life because you wanted to see it, and then I kicked it out of my setup because it's straight up ass, and I don't even know how to find it. I guess it's somewhere. Let me see. Is it here? Yeah, I won't even bother searching for it. It was basically an open top thing. It was basically no armor with a 105mm howitzer. Yep, it was so bad. It's straight up just worse than a Panzer Triano on BR2. It's the same fallacy for low IQ people. Oh no, the cannon is big, so if you shoot, you get 15 kills. This is unfair. No, motherfucker. Once again, on average, you will get less kills than with any normal tank because you get killed. Like, the problem with the Sturmpanzer wasn't that it shoots slowly. No, it was shooting normally. It's that it doesn't have a turret. You cannot properly aim. You need to be on a perfect angle to the target. And you're gonna get instantly strafed or blown up or whatever, killed. So yeah, that's another fanboy moment for Enlisted, listening to complete retards. Up-ranking this to BR3. Just compare, yeah, like, people are already saying, Gaijin, what the fuck. Just stop listening to the biggest idiots. Just don't do bullshit like that. It is literally not even funny how completely stupid this is. It's just straight up stupid. It's like going to a surgeon and saying, oh, I have cancer here, can you remove that? And then the surgeon somehow confuses something and removes your left leg. Yep, that happens. Well, you can sue the surgeon, then get a couple millions if you're in America, but, well, in other countries you don't get anything, and you even don't get your leg back. Yeah, so this is how Gaijin operates here. Alright, then the Shiri got downranked from BR5 to BR4. Woohoo, Gaijin is being generous today. This was another super ridiculous situation. This completely stupid tank was put on BR5. Like, what the fuck, Gaijin? This is worse than the BR4 Tiger that Germany has. Yep, like, this is finally BR4. It's on BR4, maybe okay. Yeah, it's okay for BR. It has literally worse armor than the KV1 that's on BR3. Yeah, it has a better cannon, but and no, the second cannon doesn't help. Yep. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You see, Gaijin tried to unretard itself, but since it's Gaijin, it has to keep balance with the retardation. So every time Gaijin makes something reasonable, it fucks up too. Yeah, so it's always up and down. And then the Shihakai got from BR2 to BR1. Let's take a look what this is, because I don't bother memorizing those strange Japanese names. Is it a premium tank or something? Also keep in mind, when you look too often at the stage tree, it bugs out. It bugs out and then everything gets gray. So yeah. Well, I don't see any Shihakai. I guess it's well, maybe it's an event tank. Actually, let me see. Do I have it? That's a Hoi. Oh, Shihakai. Oh, this is nice. It's an old battle pass tank or event tank. And it's BR1 now. Yes, beautiful. Yep. Finally, because this cannon. Yeah, this tank is. Yeah, but this is the alternative. It has okay armor and a small. A short 75, so it's a good HE. Relative for Japanese, it's still quite weak, but yep, it's good against infantry, but bad against tanks. But this thing actually can penetrate American tanks. So yep, finally, this is a nice change. But it's a rare battle pass, a rare event tank, so that won't affect too many players. Then, well, right, the last thing, the Churchill. What about that old fat Brit? Well, here he is in all of his glory. Yep, we get Churchill VII with its humongous armor. Look at those numbers. These are bigger numbers than your average North FC fan can count. 150 from the front. Now this is something that I like. You can just drive around and survive everything. You can even survive most bombs. And people won't even know how to TNT pack you and TNT charge you. They're gonna drop their TNT charges somewhere and then, oh, the tank must be dead. No, you drop your TNT charge fucking underneath. Or yeah, or here. Preferably under the engine deck, but you don't drop it in the front part where the where all of the armor is. So yep, this thing has a cannon. It has the, well, relatively good cannon. It has a machine gun, and it's BR4. This is, by the way, one of the hardest to place or to balance tanks in the game. Why? Because the cannon isn't that good. I mean, it's okay for BR3. It's bad for BR4. The armor, though, is BR5 level. Well, keep in mind, it's easy strafable from the top. Yeah, so what you do is you strafe it with an HMG, with your planes. Ta-da, it's going to be penetrated. But, well, against enemy tanks, especially against weak players, it's going to be undefeatable. Yeah, the question is it BR4 or BR3? Where do you put it? And yeah, BR4 sounds okay. BR4 sounds okay. If the top was better, if this top had something like 45 or 50, I would say it's a very viable BR4 tank. But this weak top is against good players that this tank will underperform. But I guess against 90% of all the enemies you will have in Enlisted, this will be very indestructible. Yeah, I can't wait to try out Americans BR4 for the first time ever. Because this is finally a funny reason to do it. Yep, let's go. I can do it in the future in one of the live streams. And see how this goes. Then we got little things, blah blah, bug fixes, blah blah, and so on. Okay. Then regarding the interface, you might have noticed there are lots of graphical ranks. You can see your ranks and so on. Yep, like this is quite cool. Yeah, it's a bit sorted now. You can also search for weapons easier. Also, names of pistols and these things got added. For example, this is the RAF Escape X. Before that, it was just called X. So yeah, now you have more historical connection between what you actually have and what you're using compared to before. Yep, that's quite good. That's quite good. Nothing too special, but yeah, fine. Then the ability to remove old squads, well, the ability to disband them and sell them for silver got removed. I strongly assume it's because basically everyone who did it regrets it and wants them back. And Gaijin got tired of reports asking them to get the squads back. I've been saying once this feature got added, I think beginning of the year, never sell these things. You never sell things, you never sell collectibles that cannot be bought back. Never. Because what's the realistic price? Well, you might, first of all, it's Gaijin, so you know you will not get even a remotely adequate amount of silver for that. And B, you cannot get them back. So the selling price is low, and the buying price is theoretically infinite because you can't get it back. Now, obviously you don't calculate it like that. You calculate it by saying, okay, what price would you be willing to pay to get such a squad? Now, I think you got like 10,000 or 20,000 silver for an old squad. Let's say this cool flamey X, red black X squad. You sell this squad, obviously without the soldiers and the equipment, just the ability to have this 105th infantry squad. If I sell this for 20,000, let's put it this way. If I didn't have the squad, I wouldn't mind buying it for like 50,000. I'm quite sure most players in Enlisted would love to buy the old legacy squads, especially for Germany, which a nation with most squads. If you look at the assaulters, you have infinite assaulters. Yep. If you look at riflemen, oh my god, infinite riflemen. Yep. So most people would spend a lot of money to get these squads. It's definitely more than you get if you sell them to Gaijin. So this in itself is not that good. And in the future, if there will ever be something like a collectible market squad for Enlisted, these old squads that are not buyable from Gaijin will be very expensive, especially if the game doesn't fail and actually becomes somewhat successful. Yes, you will absolutely want to keep these things for such situations, yeah? Because once again, what you get now is nothing. And the worst thing is people can do is waste all of their precious collectibles for low amounts of silver and then wasting that silver on the fucking Zuma boxes. Oh my god, yep. Yep, this is the way of Gaijin. Alright, then... yeah, nothing too spectacular. One other thing one of the last things that I knew, you can now sell your ridiculously, horribly perked fucking old gold soldiers. Yes, you can sell them. And now, here's the thing. I proposed the system already right after the merge. I said, okay, since I know Gaijin isn't too competent when it comes to coding, and they can't just simply improve all of these soldiers, do the following. Implement a system where you can put in a soldier that you have, and you will get a perfect version of the soldier back in exchange. Yeah? Ta-da. This would solve all of the issues. All of these imperfect shit soldiers would turn into perfectly perked soldiers. Nope, Gaijin didn't do it. Instead, Gaijin did the following. If you buy these loot boxes, you now also have unique soldiers here. Yep, these are all the unique soldiers I can get. Now, let me see. There are Pracher, something, Alexander Matrosov. Okay, Alexander Matrosov. Okay, let's see. Do I have Alexander Matrosov? I think you cannot get the same soldier twice. This would be completely ridiculous. This would be peak retardation, actually. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Now let's see. Where are the gold machine gunners? Because Soviets have infinite. Okay, oh my god. Yes, I got 5. Not a single one is a 3-star one though. And this one is completely useless. Yep, look at it. Fucking useless. Oh my god. Gaijin, why the fuck do you do such things? Yep. Yeah. Well, here's the short story though. If you sell your imperfect soldiers, you can buy him accidentally back now in a perfect version. Problem is though, why would you want them? You'd rather have the higher chance to get something else, like the weapons, because they are actually, at least a few of them are actually useful. So I don't. Here's the big takeaway: I don't recommend everyone to sell your soldiers. So you actually have a higher chance to get other stuff. You don't want all of those slop soldiers. Even in perfect state, most of them are useless. Like, if it's a max tier soldier, yeah. Like, engineer 2s I take. Anti-tank gunner 2s I take. Radioman 2s I also take. But rifleman 2, well, it's okay, they're at least fast. But anything under assaulter 4 and anything under machine gunner 3 is just a waste. Complete waste. And most of the soldiers in the box are exactly that. Yep. Also, what about Soviet uniforms? Can we finally throw away these ugly body armors? Now, of course, Gaijin did not change the body armor problem itself. Body armor still has a fucking functional damage reduction that nothing else in the game gives, so you're basically forced to play them. I waited. I basically removed the body armor from almost everyone I have. Except for a few squads where I waited for cool new outfits to buy these new outfits. Yep, I can go with my standard fashion setup. Yep, this is my standard fashion setup. Yep, this is quite a cool outfit. And it looks definitely not as cringe as the fugly body armor stuff. But yeah, still no cool new uniforms for the Soviets, sadly. Well, okay, and for the end, is there anything specific? You have now ray tracing support for NVIDIA and AMD graphic cards. Yep, I can try activating it. It will take a few games. I need to tell you after, like maybe tomorrow in 2 days, to see how this works. I'm gonna tell you, I guess, on Thursday after the stream where I tested it, definitely. Because the graphics card needs to adjust. It needs to collect data after every update, and then it will just automatically tune itself into an optimal state. So yep. Then also bot behavior got a bit more realistic, allegedly. It now interacts more realistically with terrain, especially with bushes and high grass, where bots are actually affected by them, so they don't basically ignore bushes and high grass and don't always shoot through them. Also, bushes and high grass don't slow down bullets and shells anymore, which is important. Yep, you get explosion blast effects from artillery shells exploding in front of our shockwaves. Yes, that's cool. And overall, a bit better looking graphics. Yep, I hope that's actually the case. And then, of course, locations. Well, if you watched my video from yesterday about how active meta fucks up Enlisted, you already heard that, we didn't get any proper new maps this year except for one, because Gaijin wastes all of its resources on failing games. Yep. And that's why there's not a big new map for this update. Instead, we get the KFC Village rework. Yep, I'm gonna play the map for your sake and show you how it looks like now and whether it's actually playable. Though I don't have high hopes. The only other new addition is you get a destruction mode for Wald in Berlin, and you get Alligator Creek Conquest. You know what this means? It means we need more downvotes now for Pacific, because what the fuck? Another conquest map. Oh, Gaijin. Yes, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Gaijin simply fucking doesn't understand. No one likes to play Conquest in Pacific. No one. I've never seen a single person liking Conquest in Pacific. Because these maps simply are bad for Pacific. They look all the same, they're monotonous, they're very open, and it's just stupid. The only okay Conquest map in the Pacific is Myanzara, which is a city. Alright, that works. But that's it. So yeah, that's nothing too good. Well, and yeah, besides that, yeah, there's little improvements for a few maps, but nothing too spectacular. The matchmaker got improved, as I talked about. Well, allegedly improved. I proved that it's inconsequential. It doesn't change anything, so yep, that's useless. And yeah. Oh, the Kuma penalty got changed. It's still stupid and not working because now you get one free leaf per day. Alright. Now, watching my streams, you will notice if you want to get into good maps and good games, we sometimes have to leave 7 to 8 games in a row. Because we sometimes get fucking Stalingrad tractor map 3-4 times in a row. Yes, Gaijin is giving you the same fucking shit map multiple times in a row. Even though you left it because it sucks. Yep, wow, so this is stupid, this fucking doesn't work if you get one free leaf. And if you play 4 games, you get the one additional free leaf. Okay, Gaijin, why not give people fucking infinite ups and downs, up and down votes? Why not? And why not make these up and down votes actually work? Because right now they have something like 5% impact, if at all. Yeah, so yeah, this is ass. This doesn't work. And then yeah, you get the Zuma addiction scrolling animation with the Zuma box now. All right. Okay, well, that's it. Actually, that's the whole update. Now, am I thrilled? Not really. The only really cool thing is gonna be maybe a few graphical effects and Japan being actually a bit more playable on BR3 and 4. BR4 automatically means BR5, by the way. It's the same queue for Japan. Doesn't have a separate. It's the only nation with a limited queue. Here's the thing. This thing being downranked to BR4 doesn't change anything. Because you still will always play against BR5. And this plane on BR4 also will always play against BR5. If that's the case, why not just give it a actually good BR5 plane? This would be a good idea. Or why not give this plane, let's say, 2 heavy bombs? If these bombs were 250 kilogram bombs, this would be a BR5 plane. And I would be happy to play it. But nope, this was just, yeah. So overall, this update is, yep, it is not a big update. It's okay, it's mediocre, it's mostly slop. And what Gaijin needs to do is, since it can't pull a completely new map within the next days, if Gaijin wants to keep the players from revolting, Gaijin needs to solve all this bullshit with the wrong BRs and properly downrank the Sturmpanzer to BR2 and properly what else did it fuck up? I even forgot. Yeah, what was another stupid thing? Yeah, Sturmpanzer. Was it the only up rank? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't even want to lose any more brain cells. Yep. Yep. Just unfuck this and also downrank the fucking tank destroyers. Like, so far this update doesn't change anything for Enlisted. Yeah, it's a bit less boring to play now, but the game didn't change. No, there's nothing new interesting. There's not even any new interesting customization. Like, if Gaijin was intelligent, it would, knowing that this update is fucking empty, give these things to every German, by the way. Every German squad, tada, people would be excited to buy customizations and make the German armies look cool. This would be a smart idea. But nope, not even that. So yeah, the only thing I see to somehow salvage this update is to rework the BR system by making pseudo new content, by downranking the tank destroyers, so they're actually playable on lower BRs and people are actually motivated to play new things. Yep, like this stack, fucking useless on BR3, absolutely unplayable on BR3. On BR2 though, it would be playable. Yep, so, and yeah, like we had this discussion a long time ago and multiple times already. We have it every few months because Gaijin refuses to get reasonable and constantly doesn't do the right thing. So yeah, this is the big update. Let me know what you think and what your opinion is and how you think the update can be improved, because it severely needs improvements. It absolutely needs improvements because right now it sucks too much ass. Alright, make sure you like the video and share it with others so they also know what's up. And of course subscribe if you're new. And become a channel member if you want to. And until tomorrow, where we're gonna have a live stream playing the new stuff that we have. Goodbye.